Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am Kyle Jellings, here on the Neighborhood Watch, brought to you by All-American Bail Bonds on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Streaming live at hometownstation.com. Also, make sure you download the free KHTS app by going to your Google Play or your App Store and searching KHTS. And as always, this is an opportunity for us to talk about community outreach and community safety, really, with the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station. We have Deputy Duxbury, who joins our presence again.
Hello.
It's like a Christmas all over again. It's like we actually just had a discussion. We finally got rid of you, and now you're back.
Yeah, I'm like a boomerang. You throw me, I just keep coming back.
Just keep coming back. We also have KHTS News Director Jay Boyer.
How's it going?
As I call her. I don't really call her that. Jessica Boyer also joining us.
Kyle has a new nickname for me every single day.
Every single show. And so let's talk about one. Are you the zone leader still? What's the deal here?
I'm still Zone 3 Stevenson Ranch zone leader. Yes.
Okay, and we know Shirley is taking a leave of absence.
Yes, she is.
To deal with some family stuff. Mm-hmm. And so are you taking over those duties? Are you the PIO at the moment? What are we doing?
No, I'm going to be doing the radio show. I'll be doing the nixles and things like that. But as far as press releases or anything like that, then the on-duty watch commander would be the one that would handle that.
Gotcha. Okay, so cool. But Deputy Duxbury, good to have you back in here. Again, this is where we go over different crime that has happened in the Santa Clarita Valley. We also talk about crime prevention, which is a big thing here that you guys push a lot. You guys push that a lot. Don't make yourself vulnerable to being a victim.
Yeah, we do, because we have a very safe city, and we want to keep it that way. So, by taking preventive measures, that's what stops us from being a target and bringing bad people around.
Fantastic. And so a couple things going on actually today. I don't know, Jessica, did you want to talk a little bit about this, what the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Deputy is doing today? I'll talk about it.
The pedestrian?
Yeah, so they're doing the pedestrian traffic enforcement today.
Yes, yeah.
And we've we've reported on it, and I know you guys see it all the time, a lot of traffic collisions involving pedestrians. And, no one's pointing fault at either, but our Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station deputies are out today. They're enforcing the vehicle code laws more.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. What are the vehicle codes in terms of dealing with pedestrians and other things of that nature?
Well, basically, pedestrians always have the right of way, regardless if they're crossing the street legally or illegally. You're supposed to yield to them. Now, that's not to say that you can just cross the street anywhere you want.
You should not do that.
The pedestrian could also be cited for jaywalking or walking in the street, failure to obey signals, all that kind of stuff. So what we did today was, and we're going to do it later on this afternoon, but we will not disclose the area just yet. But this morning, we posted ourselves up at Valencia Boulevard and McBean Parkway. And I was there in my civilian clothes along with another deputy. And basically what we did was we just kept crossing the street right there to see what we would get. And I got to admit, there were times it was pretty terrifying.
You guys did this with somebody dressed up as Batman one time.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I forgot my Batman costume.
Why didn't you dress up as Batman this time?
I just dressed like me.
Oh, all right. All right. But explain, go into that a little bit. It was, at points, it was pretty terrifying.
Yeah, at one time, when I stepped out into the street, I had a car turn right behind me and two right in front of me, so I was in this valley of cars going around me, and that was a little bit scary. But we ended up writing a total of 40 citations in a 1.5 hour period that we were out there doing that.
And what time? That was Valencia Boulevard near
McBean Parkway.
So that's one of the busiest.
It's pretty busy, yeah. And it wasn't just us. It wasn't just the decoys they wrote tickets on. We had regular pedestrians out there as well who had no idea we were even doing this. And same thing, they were crossing the street legally, and people just not yielding to them and going around them or in front of them, or so.
What are the rules of the road here? So say you're at a stoplight at Valencia and McBean Parkway.
Right.
You're turning right. What are the rules for the driver? What are the rules for the pedestrian?
Well, basically, the pedestrian has to cross with the lights, so you do have to wait for the little green walking man before you can go. Some pedestrians seem to think if it's a green light, they can go. No.
Not the truth.
You have to push the button, because that actually alters the signals in a way to make sure you have enough time to get across the street. So yeah, you have to cross legally. But as far as traffic, if you are making a right-hand turn and you need to cross over a crosswalk, you have to wait until that person is completely on the sidewalk on the other side of the street before you can make that turn.
Okay, so this is kind of for me anyway, a gray area. So if I'm turning right, somebody is walking, I don't have to wait, and I have to wait until they're on the other side of the street before I turn, not when they reach the median or something like that.
Exactly. And, the law is written very vaguely, unfortunately, but it just basically says you have to yield the right of way to a pedestrian. So, but yeah, as the law is written, you have to wait for them to get all the way across the street.
I didn't know that.
That's important to know.
I think a lot of people probably don't know that. So
because you see it all the time. You saw it this morning,
right.
That people just wait until they're just outside of the lane that they want to turn into.
Yeah. And I'm not encouraging people to do this, but when we went out, we did have some discretion. Okay, if somebody was completely past the center medium, and then a person made that right turn, we applied discretion. We let that go because they were yielding to the person. They did let them across. The ones that we cited were the ones that blatantly put myself and other pedestrians at risk.
Hit the gas right when it turned green, even though there was a little walking man and stuff like that.
Right. Or waiting for me to just clear their lane and then turning right behind me, that type of thing. So.
Okay. And so, obviously, people need to cross the street safely.
Yes.
They need to look for crosswalks, right?
Crosswalks, exactly.
Okay, or the bridges
Bridges,
or
crosswalks. If you're at an unmarked intersection, then you're supposed to cross corner to corner. No jaywalking, which is, just that. If you're walking from like the northeast corner to the southwest corner, you can't cross like that. But.
Can you maybe explain to people do you know what the fine is for either jaywalking or making an illegal turn?
I get that question a lot with a lot of different citations about what are the fines, and really it's all up to the traffic court and the traffic judge when you get there, because they have the ability to give you maximum fines or reduced fines or community service in lieu of fines. So yeah, when people ask me that, I really can't give them a good answer. It's all up to the court.
The point I do want to make though with that is it will hurt your wallet and it will hurt your time because you didn't wait 12 seconds for them to get across the street.
Yeah, get out the checkbook.
Yeah.
And so many people are in such a hurry. I mean, I sometimes am late for work. I'm trying to get to work.
Never seen that before. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But I can totally see, people are in such a hurry. They're trying to get from A to B. Their lives are busy, but it takes a lot less time for you to wait for that person to cross the street than it does for the deputy to write you a citation or for you to have to go into court.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. It's worth the wait in terms of keeping your wallet intact and also, not having to go to court and all that stuff.
But more than anything is, keeping pedestrians safe.
Yeah, that's also something.
The pedestrians have to look out for themselves as well.
Yeah, don't jaywalk.
Don't jaywalk.
Don't jaywalk, and don't. This is something that really upsets me is when people are jaywalking and they assume that all the cars are just going to stop for them.
Right.
Because what happens is with texting and radios and people in the car, don't assume that they're going to stop because they could get distracted at any moment.
Absolutely.
And so it drives me crazy. Just drives me nuts.
I totally used to have that mentality, honest.
Like the car's going to stop. I know it's going to stop.
I see a lot too that it just kind of blows me away is the way people will cross a busy street, maybe just half a block away from a signal, thinking that they don't have to mind the light. They can just sprint across here and, no foul.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, somebody coming down that road doesn't see you, and that's not such a good thing. So it's like, why not walk the extra half a block, push the button, wait for a signal, and cross safely.
Yeah, and I appreciate the sheriff's station doing this because it's not like a giant epidemic, but we see a trend where it is happening. Pedestrians are getting hit all the time.
40 citations in an hour and a half time, that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
That says we have a problem and we need to address it.
And I'm glad we are addressing it because, like you said, the ultimately we're trying to keep people safe here in Santa Clarita, and this is going to help with that. People are going to have to learn their lesson, though. Speaking of safety, right around the corner we have a Halloween. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one thing I want to talk about. We can talk about the 27th annual Haunted Jailhouse in a second, but one thing I want to talk about before that is Halloween safety. I wanted to get some Halloween safety tips from you. because I assume you've been on patrol for these evenings every once in a while in your career. And I just wanted to maybe give some parents listening some ideas on how to keep their kids safe. It's very busy, and it can be very dark, and it could be very scary, especially for parents if they let their kids go trick-or-treating. So what are some safety tips that you can give parents for their kids, keeping their kids safe trick-or-treating?
Well, I think a huge thing is supervision. Okay, you have to, I can't put an age on it. You have to determine the maturity of your child if you think they'll be safe, either supervised or unsupervised. So, that's something to consider. The costumes, if your child is going to dress in something dark, like Darth Vader or something like that, then I would strongly recommend they have some light sticks or a flashlight or something like that to illuminate them a little bit so that they're better. Can be better seen. Make sure you know where your kids are going to be doing their trick-or-treating. If you are going to let them go unsupervised, make sure you drop a little map or something and show we're going up these streets. So if there's an emergency, they know where to look for them. And then as far as the candy itself, the one thing I can definitely recommend is inspect everything first before they start eating them. And really, I would just strongly advise disposing of any kind of candy that is not vacuum seal wrapped in some way. A lot of like the lollipops and stuff are just twisted shut. Yeah. I would recommend disposing of those just to be absolutely safe.
Yeah. Yeah, and those are bad for your teeth anyway. The ones that are lollipops that get stuck to your teeth and stuff. Sure. Chocolate's fine, though. I just stick with chocolate. And we just talked about pedestrian safety. One, if you're driving in neighborhoods, even if you're not driving in neighborhoods, just keep an eye out.
You got to slow your roll at Halloween. Yeah. Just expect the unexpected.
Yeah. Plan for the worst and hope for the best.
It's a fun time for kids if you think about it. When else can they go knock on anybody's door that they want and cross the street anywhere they want, and just basically run amok. You don't see that too often, but let them have their fun, but we gotta really watch out.
And tell them to use crosswalks also, or go to, if there's no crosswalks in a neighborhood, what do you suggest doing?
A corner-to-corner crossing, if possible, and never step out between parked cars, that type of thing. If you're going to cross the street at an unmarked intersection, and do it somewhere where there's good visibility on both sides.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I lived on a street that had several haunted houses. Yeah. And so every once in a while, someone would want to drive down the street, but you'd have kids coming out from behind parked cars and just walking across the street, walking in the middle of the street. And I remember always, when I started driving, my parents would always say, get to where you're going and then just stay there. Because driving on Halloween it can be dangerous.
It's nerve-wracking, really.
Is, yeah. And then also, if you're going to be drinking, make sure you have a designated driver, or you're using some sort of taxi service or Uber or whatever. Yeah. So.
Awesome stuff. But yeah, so keep it safe this Halloween, and you can also keep it scary. One way to keep it scary is the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station. They're hosting the 27th annual. It's been doing it for 27 years.
Long time.
The Haunted Jailhouse, and you can go. It's over at Pitches, right?
No, it's at our station.
Oh, it's at the station. Okay.
Right on Valencia and Magic Mountain Parkway. It's going to be in our parking lot behind our station.
Nice.
They'll do a haunted jailhouse.
Nice.
The carnival itself has all kinds of things: petting zoo and dunk a deputy, and
sweet.
All kinds of neat games and stuff like that.
So it's not just terrifying children and adults alike.
If the older kids want to go into the haunted jailhouse, that's great. But if you've got little kids, then there's plenty for them to do out in the station parking lot. There's going to be a lot of neat events for them.
So you're going to do the dunk a deputy?
Yeah, that's my very next question.
Oh man,
I think I'm going to have to do it.
You're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I did read. You can read all the stories, by the way, at hometownstation.com. Children under 2 will be judged at 12:30. Ages 2 to 4, 1 p.m. So you can come, and we encourage everybody to come in costume. And there's going to be a costume contest, tons of petting zoo, and then stuff to do. And you can maybe, if you're lucky, dunk a deputy. So explain what that is a little bit.
Well, actually, this year, it's kind of funny, really. To save water, instead of doing dunk a deputy, we're doing douse a deputy. So we'll be sitting in a chair with a bucket of water over our heads. You're throwing balls at the target to tip the bucket over on the deputy. The water will then fall into a kiddie pool, which we will scoop back into the bucket.
So go first.
And put back on the top.
Water conservation.
And at the end of the day, we will use it to water the plants in our memorial garden.
Oh, good heavens. That's awesome, but make sure you go first, Dux, because
the water's going to be kind of interesting.
It's going to get a little murky after a while. So.
But the Boys and Girls Club, they help out, and last year I went and they did kind of this plague theme, and it was actually pretty scary. honest. Like, it was pretty good.
Okay.
So, and I guess this year is an asylum. So
It's putting it. You guys are. What you do is you make it even scarier, going to jail, but you make it even scarier by throwing ghouls and stuff in there as well. October 25th is when that is happening. A couple weeks from today. So make sure 10 days from today, actually. So make sure you go check that out, and just go check it out. Support. It's a fun event for the whole family too. There's going to be a trick or treat alley. And it's going to be a fun little event that the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station has been doing for 27 years now.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Good
awesome,
times.
Awesome stuff. So make sure you keep it safe. Hit this Halloween, and make sure if you're looking for a family fun event, go check out the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station haunted jailhouse at the station over there. I did want to touch on this a little bit. A sad note here. An off-duty LA County Sheriff's deputy was killed in a collision on San Francisco Road, Canyon Road. It was last night, or actually approximately 9:40 p.m. The 31-year-old resident of Lancaster was traveling southbound on Sand Canyon Road and was hit on a head-on collision. Actually, he died last night. So just thoughts and prayers go out to that deputy and his family. We're going to take a quick break now. This is the Neighborhood Watch on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, brought to you by All American Bail Bonds.